Good day everyone, I am Linelyn Manso from Bansod Cluster, together with my group mates, Miss Elizabeth Rosas, Mr. Bernabe Olet, Miss Flor de Lisa Onday, Miss Melissa Sainaan, and Wina Paladan. And we are here in front of you to present our topic, which is the Chapter 8, Grading Systems and Grading System of the Department of Education. But before we proceed to the actual lesson, let us first define what are the learning objectives. At the end of the lesson, students can be able to, the first one is, define what is the definition of the grading system. Second, identify the types of grading system. And the third one is, identify the levels of proficiency in the grading system. What is grading system? Grading system refers to the system used by educators to grade students on a set of point-based scales that consist of grades such as A to F or ranges from 1 to 10. And generally, letters and numbers are used to describe the grades of students, and marks and percentage are the only methods for assessing their performance based. If you have noticed, in the Philippines, especially in the Department of Education, or even in the colleges and university, letters are replaced by numerical values such as 1, 1.23, 1.50, 1.75, 2.0, and so on. But why grading is important? So, grading system is important in order to assess learning of the student. We as future educators need grading system in order to ensure consistency and fairness in the assessment process and to determine whether students are learning and gaining knowledge. In addition, educators can also provide students with feedback to keep them accountable, provide them with more information, and aid them in achieving the course goals. There are two types of grading systems used at the university level: the norm reference and criterion reference. The first one is norm reference grading system. Most commonly used grading system are evaluated in relation to the performance of the group. For example, a grade of 80 is the average grade or known where a student performed better than 80% of the class. Here are the disadvantages of norm reference grading system. Norm reference grading system promotes competition rather than cooperation. They are competing in order to meet standards that will qualify them for classes. A norm reference grading system actually encourages competition to the point where students would prefer not to help other students because the mean of the class would rise, making it more difficult for them to achieve higher grades, and in a sense, it promotes competition among students. So we have here an example of a norm reference grading system. So for example, suppose a teacher decides to award excellent or outstanding grades to 15 of these 100 students in a class. Such a grading policy illustrated. So 15 of the class get 1.0 grade. The next 15 of the class got the 1.50. The next 45 of the class got 2.0. And then 3.0 grade, where 15% of the class got it. 5.0 bottom 2% of the class. The second type of grading system is the criterion reference grading system. They are based on a fixed criterion measure. For example, and the score ranges to 95 to 100, that is known as an A grade, or 88 to 94, known as the B grade. Normally, the criteria are a set of number of points or a percentage of the total. For example, the grading system of Polytechnic University of the Philippines or PUP, we are based on a fixed criterion measure wherein the grade of 1.0 is equivalent to 94 to 100. We have the grade of 1.25 equivalent to 88 to 93. The grade of 1.50 equivalent to 82 to 87, and so on. According to this grading system of PUP, the lowest grade is 5.0 or equivalent to 29 below. Of INC means you have an incomplete grades. And we have also here the D grade or drop, W, which is the withdrawn. So you've seen in the screen is the grading system of PUP. So mostly in colleges or university level, the mostly teachers use a criterion reference grading system because they are based on a fixed criterion. So we have here an advantage of criterion reference grading system. Students are not competing with each other and are thus more likely to actively help each other to learn. A student's grade is not influenced by caliber of the class. We should take note that in a criterion reference grading system, students can help a fellow student in group work without necessarily worrying about lowering his grade in that course. This is because the criterion reference grading system does not require the mean of the class as the basis for distributing grades among the students. It is therefore an ideal system to use in collaborative group work when students are evaluated on predefined criteria. They are free to collaborate with one another and with their instructor. So again, there are two types of grading system, the norm reference and the criterion reference. When we say norm, it refers to a grading system wherein a student's grades is placed in relation to the performance of a group, wherein the criterion are based on a fixed criterion measure. We have here a criterion reference grading system. The criteria should not be determined solely on only one teacher's opinion. The criteria should be made public and open to public scrutiny once they have been established. We have a 4 question in grading corresponds to the opinion of Sbinicky. Should grades reflect absolute achievement level or achievement relative to others in the same class? The second is, should grades reflect achievement only or non-academic components such as attitude, speed, and diligence? The third one is, should grades report status achieved or amount of growth? Fourth, how can several grades on diverse skills combine to give a single mark?
What is standardized test scoring? Test standardization is a process by which teacher or researcher made tests are validated and item analyzed. Each standardized test uses its own mathematical scoring system. Ang mga teacher daw po ay sila po yung gumagawa ng mathematical scoring system para po magkaroon ng grade yung isang estudyante. Ang mathematical scoring system po ay, a mathematical system is a set with one or more binary operation defined on it. Nakadepende po yung makukuhang grado ng isang bata doon sa makukompute po ng isang teacher. Two types of grading system used in the Philippines. Averaging grading system. The grade of a student on a particular grading period equals the average of the grades obtained in the prior grading periods and the current grading period. The second one is cumulative grading system. The grade of a student in a grading period equals his current grading period grade, which is assumed to have the cumulative effects of the previous grading periods.
My name is Melissa Sainaan. This is my report. Beginning, the student at this level struggle with his her understanding. It's not suffocating. It just need to fix and understood by the student so that can understood better. Developing the student at this level processes the minimum knowledge and skill and cure understanding. In the beginning to the matter, what they do, they will struggle at the first, but after a long time, they will learn. Approaching proficiency. The student at this level has developed the fundamental knowledge, understanding and with little guidance from the teacher.
Proficient. The student at this level has developed this fundamental knowledge and skills in core understanding. Sa antas naman na ito ay bumuo ng pangunahing kaalaman at kasanayan at pangunahing pangunawa ang mga mag-aral. Advanced. The student at this level exercise the core requirements in terms of knowledge, skills, understandings. Ang mga mag-aral naman na ito ay nagsasagawa ng mga pangunahing kinakailangan sa mga kasanayan at sa kaalaman at pangunawa.
My name is Rina Palalan. Final grades shall be calculated based on average of 4 quarter ratings for each learning area. General average shall be average of final grades of level proficiency with numerical equivalent parentheses. Final grade is calculated quarterly reading of the learnings in its learning area. In a whole year, we have 4 quarter assessments, first, second, third, and fourth quarter. For example, in mathematics, the student got 88. Final reading is in the first quarter 88, in the second 85, in third 84, in fourth quarter we have I just going to add the grade of student for the first to 4 quarter for final grade.
I'm Bernabe Ulit, second year Bachelor Cluster. My second topic is culminating resources, activities, performances. Student work across subject is displayed as culminating activity at the end of every quarter. Students may exhibit their performance to demonstrate their learning or achievement of performance standards. The students demonstrate their learning activities according their abilities and skills through writing works, performance, and assessment like quizzes, oral recitation, and reporting. The teacher recorded the performances of each learner, so at the end of the quarter, the teacher put a grades quarterly to ensure the consistency of their grades. Showing grades to the student is very important to encourage them to study and level up their performances and knowledge.